Lovecast with Dave O Rama.
The Lovecast. The Lovecast. The Lovecast.
The Lovecast with Dave O Rama.
Greetings, friends and lovers. Welcome to another edition of the Lovecast. Dave O Rama here with you, bringing the heat and humidity as we dig ourselves deep into the summer season. When things get hot and moist, it can often feel like you're laying around in a big bowl of soup. But the hot weather doesn't bother me at all, and soup tastes good. So personally, I think hot weather is sexy, and there's always loads of fruit to enjoy in the hot weather season. I apologize for being away last weekend, but I had to get on the road early in the week so I could get my booty over to the west side of Vancouver Island for the annual Pachina Bay Music Festival. Always a good time if you're planning to take a trip out to Bamfield, British Columbia. And right off the bat, I want to send out big gratitude to the people of the Hawaiian Nation for hosting us at their beautiful beach on Western Vancouver Island. It was a super amazing time, so if you're interested in attending the Pachina Bay Music Festival, I would buy your tickets for next year as soon as they go on sale. The event was musically uplifting, and it was wonderful connecting with so many friends of the Lovecast. This week on the program, I'm mixing up the ingredients for a hot and hearty sonic soup, specially formulated to hit the spot. So pull out your spoon and get your earbuds ready for some tasty vibes as Dave O Rama simmers up the summer sounds. There's a fabulous old-timey duo who are always making the rounds on the musical festival scene, and I ran into them while I was sitting on a big old driftwood log on the beach at Pachina Bay. They have numerous live dates scheduled all through the summer and right through the fall as well. I'm going to get things started with something moist for all the lovers out there. From the Saugeen's shores of Ontario, here to tantalize your earbuds, I have Washboard Nora and Jitterbug James ready to get sexy with something called Caught Us Doing It, right here on the Lovecast.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Went to see my little ghastly darling, little miss. Yeah. Went down to the parlor, we began to hug and kiss. The moon shone high above us and the stars was hanging low. When I went to kiss that gal, her man walked through the door. He caught us doing it. Hey, hey. He caught us doing it. Hey, hey, hey. He caught us doing it. Doing what? Oh, he caught us making love. Walked through a park. That's right. Feeling sick to hit me to kiss her in the dark. I wrapped her arms around me and I pressed her lips to mine. Big policeman pulled out a light and a chill went in my spine. Then he caught us doing it. Hey, hey. He caught us doing it. Hey, hey, hey. He caught us doing it. Oh, he caught us making love. City jail. They put me in a cell. They said, don't worry about the trial, my friend. The judge will treat you well. Hope so. On the morning I went to trial, the judge was feeling fine. He said, I'll be easy on you. And then he gave me 99. Now I'm doing it. Hey, hey. I'm doing it. Hey, hey. I'm doing it. Doing what? Oh, now I'm doing time. I'm doing it. Hey, hey. I'm doing it. Hey, hey. I'm doing it. Doing what? Oh, now I'm doing time.
country music superstar Big Fancy.
And the shitty cowboy in the background, baby.
And you're listening to the Lovecast with Dave O Rama.
I can't hide the way I feel. There's no way to mask it. My heart's open wide inside, but your heart's an open casket. Try to tell you I care till I'm all out of air, and I feel like I blow a gasket. You sit and stare so unaware, 'cause your heart's an open casket. Every love letter, every picture I send, I'll gather up and put in a basket. Build a funeral pyre, I'll set it on fire, 'cause your heart's an open casket. People come from far and wide, line up to pay your respect. As the hearse drives slow, they'll bow their head to the dead thing that's in your chest. All you gotta do is ask it. My heart's an open book. Your heart's an open casket. You could pretty it up with powder and paint, fill it full of formaldehyde. Like I said, your poor heart's dead, there's no love left inside. Your heart's an open casket, your heart.
The album is called The Legendary Loser Wins Again by BC traditional country artist Big Fancy and the Shiddy Cowboys. Big Fancy is from Fort Fraser, British Columbia, and he doesn't get out much, but he will be hosting some live shows on the West Coast in late August leading up to his performance at the Quadrapalooza Festival coming up this Labor Day weekend on Quadra Island. You can find his music on Bandcamp if you go looking. Big Fancy and the Shitty Cowboys and the song Open Casket, going out to my good friend Mr. D. Something from a Canadian band that I don't think exists any longer. They were called No Famous Death, and something that sounds a bit like a psychedelic rockabilly song. From the album Dark Joy, the band No Famous Death and I've Only Got One Friend, and I guess that's me. Then we went way back to the mid-1980s with a fine selection from the infamous South African compilation album The Indestructible Beat of Soweto, something going out to the memory of my longtime friend Dave Watts. We had the band Udokotela, Shange, Namajaha, with a piece of township jive called Sobabamba. And from the frisky summer lovers out there who are never deterred by the heat, something moist and steamy from Ontario country blues duo the Vaudevillian from their new album Sellin' Jelly and their cover of a 1935 Hokum Boys side called Caught Us Doing It, going out to all the sexy folks doing it during the Lovecast. The Vaudevillianmusic.com is where you can find them and all their tour dates because they are playing everywhere by the looks of things. I've been wanting to see the Vaudevillian live, so big thanks to Vig and Ben for bringing them to the Pachena Bay Music Fest An incredible dynamic blend of everything from acoustic blues all the way to rave music. It's totally schizophonic. In the final hours of the festival at sunup at Pachina Bay Beach, I ran into musician Joe Abbott standing at the trailhead entrance, hanging out all alone watching the sunrise. Joe Abbott is a multi-instrumentalist from Vancouver, BC. He used to play with Harp Dog Brown. He currently plays clarinet in the band Petunia and the Vipers, but he's also a fine singer and guitarist working in the style of traditional country music. A damn fine songwriter. Here's Joe Abbott to lead us into the next set as Dave O Rama whips up a big bowl of hot soup just for you from the Lovecast.
If you're lonely, if you're lonely, you could have told me I'd let you hold me. That's what she said, dear boy, last we spoke. That's what she said, dear boy, that's all she wrote. We had some high times, we had some high times, and I had high times walking on fine lines. Well, that's on me this time. It's pretty clear that's what's been on my mind all day this year. I kept a piece of you all around me as I wandered. My little heart ain't no bigger than a songbird, and you've got a feather in your cap that looks familiar. Got a feather in your cap that looks familiar. If you were lonely, if you were lonely, you could have told me I'd let you hold me. That's what you said, dear boy, we spoke. That's what she said, dear boy, and that's all she wrote.
Hi there, this is Jimmy Roy. You're listening to the Lovecast with Dave O Rama. Keep it up.
Lonesome sound of the train going by makes me want to stop and cry. I recall the day it took you away. I'm blue, I'm lonesome too. When I hear that lonesome whistle blow, I wanna pack my suitcase and go. The lonesome sound of the train going by makes me wanna stop and cry. Night in a pale moonlight, the wind it moans and cries. These lonesome blues I just can't lose. I'm blue, I'm lonesome too. When I hear that lonesome whistle blow, well, I wanna pack my suitcase and go. The lonesome sound of the train going by makes me wanna stop and cry. I'm blue, I'm lonesome too.
There ain't no room for cheating in a song about love. I wish someone had told me before. Push comes to shove, well, I know you're out and happy when all I feel is blue. I'm just sitting in this bar, just drinking a beer. You can find me down that lonely street, sitting on this bar stool. When I hear that jukebox play, my thoughts turn to you. Well, it used to be a happy song, but all I hear is blue. There ain't no room for cheating in a song about being true. There ain't no room for cheating in a song about love. I wish someone had told me before. Push comes to shove, well, I know you're out and happy when all I feel is blue. I'm just sitting in this bar drinking a beer. And I spent the money on you. Them greenbacks started running out, and you said we was through. You said we're singing a different song, but I hear the same old tune. There ain't no room for cheating in a song about being true. There ain't no room for cheating in a song about love. I wish someone had told me before. Push comes to shove, well, I know you're out and happy when all I feel is blue. I'm just sitting in that bar, just drinking a beer. cheating in a song about love. I wish someone had told me before. Push comes to shove, well, I know you're out and happy when all I feel is blue. I'm just sitting in this bar just drinking a beer. Yeah, I'm just sitting in this bar just drinking a beer. Woo!
Hey, this is Paul Pigat from Cousin Harley. You are listening to the Lovecast with Dave O Rama.
That's a handsome dance song.
Pull up a chair, son, I'ma tell you a story. Young folks today have no idea what it's like to do without. We used to walk 46 miles over jagged shale in the dead of winter in bare feet, stopping only for a minute or two to warm our frostbitten toes in steaming horse manure. And when we got to the school, the principal would beat us about the head and neck with a rusted curtain rod and rub us all up and down with pickling salt. And when I got home, I had to plow over 600 acres of land with a soup ladle, for we all sat down at the dinner table and shared a rotten grate. Then Dad'd pull out his old fiddle, and after a couple tries, he'd realize he had no idea how to play the fiddle. Then he'd get all frustrated and bash our heads in with a wagon wheel spoke. And we were damn thankful for it. Yeah. Get it. Come on, baby. Well, it all got started back in 53. It was the longest winter that we ever did see. Come late May and the ground still froze. It was early June when the bank foreclosed. My daddy said, son, I got a chance to go. He took a factory job in Ohio. Well, I cussed him out when he walked away. I said, you can run, but I'm gonna stay. And Mama looked at me and said, this ain't no life. 7 kids and a poor man's wife. Standing firm while I held my ground. It was up to me to turn the farm around. And I'm worth a fortune for a working man. Got 44 acres of bottom land. Money don't mean a goddamn thing when you bet your life on a poor man's dream. Country raised and certified and cursed by the devil with a poor man's pride. Chopping wood and cutting cane, picking rocks in the pouring rain, plowing fields, planting seeds, digging ditches and pulling weeds. Barely make enough to pay the bills, and if the reaper don't get you, then the taxman will. And I'm worth a fortune for a working man. Got 2 bad knees and a left arm tan. Well, I burned my fingers and I froze my toes. Got holes in my boots and holes in my clothes. Country raised and certified, cursed by the devil with a poor man's pride. Church, I never went to school. I've been bit by a snake, I've been kicked by a mule, I've been kissed by girls and chased by dogs, been scratched by cats and chewed by hogs, struck by lightning and hit by a truck, and I live long enough not to give up. When I'm all worked out and they put me down, and I rest my soul in the cold, cold ground. Broken proud is how I died. Nothing wrong with a poor man's pride. Saving money won't save your soul, 'cause you can't take it with you, baby, when you go. And I'm worth a fortune for a working man. Keep all my money in an old milk can. Never asked for a dollar, never asked for a dime. Never been to a bank 'cause I never had time. Country raised and certified, and cursed by the devil with a poor man's pride.
We're hellbound and honky-tonkin' with Conrad F. Campbell, a traditional country singer based on Denman Island, British Columbia. a well-kept secret and another example of the many talented traditional country artists based here in Canada making new country music sound like the total crap that it is. You can find Conrad F. Campbell at his website, where you can download several of his albums for free. He also has some great videos there as well. The album is Hellbound and Honky Tonkin', and that was Conrad F. Campbell going out to the Big L with something called Workin' Man, for all the invisible men risking their lives working at the most dangerous jobs around. Also going out to my too tall friend Andrew Queen, the Doghouse Orchestra in the set with a great cover of a song written by the late Toronto rockabilly slinger Handsome Ned, featuring John Bora on vocals, the song Ain't No Room for Cheatin'. Andrew took me to see Doghouse Orchestra for the first time last month at their weekly Sunday service live from the Cameron House, and I had the greatest time. Jaron Freeman Fox was guesting on violin, and Trombone Charlotte was a total force of nature. You can go enjoy the Doghouse Orchestra every Sunday night at 10 p.m. live at the Cameron House on Queen Street West in Toronto. And that excellent cover of Ain't No Room for Cheatin' was taken from the band's live album, recorded at the Cameron and available on Bandcamp. From Saskatchewan, Lost Highway Navigators also in the set, and from their album Late Bloom, something called I'm Blue, I'm Lonesome, for anyone out there pining for love. And at the top of the set, some great traditional country sounds from Canadian multi-instrumentalist Joe Abbott, who I encountered at 4:30 in the morning on the trailhead at Pachena Bay Beach this past Monday. Just hanging out by himself watching the sunrise. Joe plays sax and clarinet in the band Petunia and the Vipers, but we heard his country singer-songwriter persona there with the original All She Wrote from the album A Toothache in Spades. Dave O Rama back in your ears again this week, cooking up some hot musical soup to satisfy your soul and nurture your spirit. The pseudos are beckoning us out into the waves, so it's time to cool off in the sun and surf as Dave O Rama channels the heat into something good to eat, served up right here on the Lovecast.
get your attention, please. Here is your group, Henry Delgado and the stage, for amuse and also for you dance march. If you like to dance, very well, and then smoke a cigarette and put in wave or also wave. Cáscara de plátano, mostaza, orégano, hierbabuena, volare, cantar. Ready now, listen to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go, baby. Come on, Cherry. Come on, Dory. Now, please, dance.
Dogman from the Pseudos. You're listening to the Lovecast with Dave O Rama.
Drew Gonzalez from Cobo Town, and this is the Lovecast with Dave O Rama.
Cooking up some sonic soup on the Lovecast beach fire with something from East Coast rockers, the Urban Surf Kings. Going out to my friend Melissa, some Nova Scotia beach vibes to end the set with Go Inky Go. From Salt Lake City, Utah, where the surf is kind of lame, we also heard something from the Surf Raiders called Alibaba from the band's 2021 album On the Beach. Something from the Creepy Mambo Rooftop Sessions recorded live in Vancouver, and some psychedelic cumbia from the band Empanadas Ilegales with La Primera Pachanga en Marta. Some more Latin psychedelia from the 1960s Peruvian band Los Destellos with something smoky and fuzzy called Onsta la Yerbita. And at the top of the set, from Los Angeles, the psychedelic pop sounds of Levitation Room and something for folks like me who just want to be loved, as Dave O Rama cooks up a big pot of hot soup out on the beach to celebrate the summer heat. The sun is a bit lower in the sky, which means we've hit the crossroads intersecting today's program. So to lead us into the next dimension of the Lovecast, here's French multi-instrumentalist Youthi bringing the Kiwano Gecko tones to lead us into hour 2. So stick around. Dave O Rama back in your ears after a short detour to Pachina Bay last week. Big love to Ben and Vig, Kat and Melissa, Sean and Dallas, and all the wonderful folk who continue to make the Pachina Bay Music Festival a one-of-a-kind experience. This is the Lovecast, positive vibes for challenging times and music lovers who aren't stuck in a groove. If you would like to gorge yourself on past episodes of the Lovecast, you can literally find hundreds to stream and enjoy at mixcloud.com/Dave O Rama or at thelovecast.podbean.com. When it's hot and humid, it always reminds me of the soulful sounds of New Orleans. Senegalese bassist Alona Wade recently released this tribute to the Crescent City called New African Orleans. For the soup lovers, here to cast a spell over hour 2 of today's program, this is Aluna Wade covering the Dr. John classic Gree Gree Gumbo Ya Ya, served up right from the Lovecast.
Got my styling Gree Gree in my hand. They tripping
Hey, this is Steve Hill, and you're listening to the Lovecast with Dave O Rama.
I wanna walk with you to the ocean, open up my heart, show you my emotion. So many things to do, so many things to say. Baby, we'll be walking till the break of day. Said all this time I've been standing right by your side. Open up your world to me. I've been waiting so long just to know you, baby. Come take a walk with me. Baby, we'll be walking till the break of day. I got so many things that I gotta say. Come on and take the time and baby we can play. We'll be walking till the break of day. Come on over, girl, and put your head up on my shoulder. I can't remember all the days that I felt colder. Whoa, baby, you're the one, well, you're the one that makes me feel. When we walk to the ocean, you know that living life is real. Said all this time I've been standing right by your side. Open up your world to me. I've been waiting so long just to know you, baby. Come take a walk with me. Baby, we'll be walking till the break of day. I got so many things that I gotta say. Come on and take the time and baby we can play. We'll be walking till the break of day.
love our mother, our sisters and brothers, the land that we live in, the towns we're given, tools we're uplifting, spiritual goals, nurtures our souls, energy flows, the beauty that shows, medicine burning, end of the journey, willing and learning, mystical visions, directed decisions, and no I can't hide it, I'm driven and guided by the prosperous life, we continue to fight, as we live in our life, we go through our lessons, answer our questions, beautiful blessings, recognize my path, replenish my health, I step on up and begin to shout, we don't need no colonial policy, we be free, MCC, equality. We don't need no colonial policy, we be free, MCC, equality. Universal health, mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, your health, my health, everybody's health, come on. We don't need no colonial policy, we be free, MCC, equality. We don't need no colonial policy, we be free, MCC, equality. We don't need no colonial policy, we be free, MCC, equality. We don't need no colonial policy, we be free, MCC, equality.
From Vancouver, some indigi-funk from Curtis Clearsky and the Constellations, a band I've played on the show several times in the past, and so I was thrilled to see them live last weekend at the Pachina Bay Music Fest, where Curtis told me the band is busy recording a new album. I got a bit of a chance to hang out with some of the Constellations, and on the very last morning of the event, the band's bass player, Peter Rusty Beach, joined me at my campsite for a toke and some deep conversation about the power of music. Curtis Clearsky and the Constellations, and some universal health going out to Rusty. Nanaimo-based multi-instrumentalist Josh Gelman also bringing the southern humidity and sweat with something from his new solo album, Speak to My Dreams. We were out getting our exercise, doing some walking with Josh Gelman. I did a lot of walking this past weekend, and I also spent much of my time chasing off a rather persistent young bear who was relentlessly raiding campsites over several days. He just wasn't getting the message, and as my good friend Bunny Dub says, a fed bear is a dead bear. You might think you're bonding with wild animals when you attempt to feed them, but all you're doing is putting them in danger. From your bird feeder to leaving food out where bears can get at it, feeding wildlife can often be a death sentence for the animals. People need to stop pretending that they're the benefactors of all the wildlife and just leave the animals alone. That's how you respect wildlife. Going out to Yoga Bear, the persistent raver of picnic baskets, Senegalese bassist Aluna Wade, with his 2025 tribute to the sound of the Crescent City, New African Orleans, and a cover of the 1968 Dr. John classic, Gri Gri Gumbo Yaya, for all the soup-loving bears, as Dave O Rama simmers up some beach gumbo for all the summer lovers celebrating the heat. Up next, a selection from a new compilation called Roots Rockin' Zimbabwe, with Echoes Limited sending out some love to Angelina from the Lovecast.
você está bom. Estive à procura de ti. Agora vi de você. Enche meu som. Angelina, quero você. Angelina, gostou-me de você. Angelina, onde você está bom. Estive à procura de ti. Agora vi de você. Enche meu som. Enche meu som.
só dança como quer. Não tem feito nem mau gosto, tem mesmo é muito moço que de bobo não dá fé. Lá no Coco José, só dança como quer. Não tem feito nem mau gosto, tem mesmo é muito moço que de bobo não dá fé. Chamou coragem, tão cedo se cansou. O couro comia no pandeiro, no ganzai, na zabumba Maria gritou. Arreia sanfoneiro, que eu não pedi arrego. No toque do pandeiro, hoje eu tô.
Arreia sanfoneiro, meu nome não é sossego. Forró o dia inteiro, dou conta sim senhor. Maria chamou coragem, tão cedo se cansou. O couro comia no pandeiro, no ganzai, na zabumba Maria gritou. Arreia sanfoneiro, que eu não pedi arrego. No toque do pandeiro, hoje eu tô. Arreia zabumbeiro, meu nome não é sossego. Forró o dia inteiro, dou conta sim senhor. Arreia sanfoneiro, que eu não pedi arrego. No toque do pandeiro, hoje eu tô. Arreia zabumbeiro, meu nome não é sossego. Forró o dia inteiro, dou conta sim senhor.
Hey, this is Sticky Buds, and you are tuned into the Lovecast with Dave O Rama.
Wonderful cello fusion from Toronto-based musician George Crotty and his trio on a composition called Bow. My friend Daniel reminded me that the Scarborough Folk Fest is currently going on. I grew up in North York, and at the time, the outer boroughs of Toronto were incredible places teeming with ethnic diversity, but there was very little celebration of that diversity. A lifetime later, it's great to see cultural events like the Scarborough Folk Fest and the Markham Jazz Fest and other celebrations of music and culture evolving in urban regions that were once void of these kinds of community celebrations. These are definitely important ways of bringing communities together, so make sure you check out some of the world-class artists performing this weekend at the Scarborough Folk Festival. One of the acts on the lineup bringing the Brazilian flavors to our soup today is Maria and the Band, with some inspiring warm weather rhythms on a song called Roda de Coco. Black Sabbath vocalist Ozzy Osbourne has been dominating the news lately with his farewell charity show called Back to the Beginning. Following the success of the concert, Ozzy did just that and passed away only 17 days following the event. In honor of Ozzy Osbourne, I played something from Colombian band Onda Tropica with their unique interpretation of the Black Sabbath song Iron Man. And I began the set with a selection from the new compilation Roots Rockin' Zimbabwe, the modern sound of Harare Townships, 1975 to 1980 from the Analog Africa label. Something for Angelina from the band Echoes Limited, laying down an easy rock and groove here on the Lovecast. Dave O Rama back with you this week, cooking up a big pot of hot soup to help you balance your body temperature and fill you with a surplus of sonic energy. The weather is beautiful, and this is the time of year to get yourself out of the house and away from the hustle and bustle of your annoying job to take in some live music. Connecting with joyful crowds enjoying incredible live music experiences is a seriously positive way to boost your mental health. So turn off the TV and get out and enjoy all the amazing live music available to you. I mentioned the Scarborough Folk Fest, so here's another fabulous group performing at that event. For the final ingredients to be added to our musical soup today, I'm going to begin with something by Toronto-based Syrian psychedelic band Kazdura to help you get your head in the zone and your booty out to the park.
جسر الحديد انقطع من دوس
to see ya. Messagina, Messagina, yo 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 yo, Sunsia, Sunsia, yo 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 yo, Sarabesa, Zaproclia, Nicolena, 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 Shatosia.
This is Andrew McPherson from Echo Deck. You're listening to the Lovecast with Dave O Rama. And my voice is very low.
The Lovecast, paying tribute to the fabulous Shuffle Demons, celebrating their 40th anniversary together as hard boppin' ambassadors of Canadian jazz. The band continue on their 40th anniversary tour, where you will find them tonight performing in Toronto at the Summer Live Music Festival at Trillium Park, Ontario Place. They hit the stage at 8:30 p.m. and it's totally free, so get your ass down there after we finish up here. The new album is called Are You Really Real? And that was the Shuffle Demons in the Air and on the Lovecast. From Poland, we also heard the hip-hop inspired jazz from the band EABS from a 2024 release called Reflections of Purple Sun, and some frantic jazzified vibes in their simply entitled Purple Sun. Another West Coast Festival favorite that I also encountered this past weekend at the Pachena Bay Music Festival was Vancouver brass band Balkan Schmalkin. Always a crowd pleaser and a parade instigator. I played something from them called Messachina from their debut album Weapons Grade Euphonium. I'm going to send that one out to Shelter the Electric Clamfish, who was literally the trumpet left behind. And from a fine release called Guyum, Toronto-based Syrian psychedelic band Kazdura began the set with a haunting piece of music called Al Ain. They are performing this weekend at the Scarborough Folk Festival as part of an attractive lineup of pan-cultural entertainment, all performing for free this weekend at Thompson Memorial Park on Brimley Road in Scarborough. So, put down the remote, pack yourself a picnic, and get your booty down there, because this is the way you enjoy the summer season, by taking advantage of all the live outdoor music performances. Music is my favorite drug and the closest thing to magic that I have ever personally encountered. And I'm here every week to fill your life with music. A great way that you can get your daily dose of global sonic schizophonic nutrients is to go fill up on the Lovecast at my online audio archives, which you can find at mixcloud.com/Dave O Rama or at thelovecast.podbean.com, where there are literally hundreds of past episodes of the program available to stream and download. I've often pondered the concept of interdimensional consciousness, and I've often considered that there might be no death. That instead we travel between dimensions by shedding one-dimensional form and trade it for another, like shedding your three-dimensional body and taking on a four-dimensional form as we travel from one life into another. When you don't subscribe to a religious ideology, it frees you up to use your imagination in creative ways such as these. Toronto-based Kaiso band Kobo Town wrote a song years ago that I consider to be the Canadian version of the famous calypso tune Jumbie Jamboree. Kobo Town is another wonderful act bringing their Carnival of Ghosts to the Scarborough Folk Fest this weekend. Another good reason to get out of the house and go enjoy the magic of live music. So until we meet here again next week, this is Dave O Rama wishing you peace, love, and interdimensional consciousness.
One carnival, I was jumping with a band. Started feeling faint and passed out by the stand. I don't know how long I lay there on the ground, but when I came to my senses, there was no one else around. It was the dead of night when I scrambled to my feet. The wind howling like a beaten dog dragging rubbish down the street. I heard the shuffling of feet, the rattling of bones, saw the whole place bathed in a spectral glow. And as night follows day, it was the spirits of the dead come out to play. I was a man from the land of the living, and I thought my senses were deceiving, cause I was seeing but was not believing what was happening all around. You could imagine how I was trembling to see all them jumbie assembling, then to notice some of them resembling people I heard about. In a big green turban was Shah Jahan, quarreling with a young woman. He said, "Girl, you make me ball. I can't believe for you I believe Taj Mahal." King Herod say, "Hey boy, don't fret. Your SC don't dish for woman yet. For 2,000 years now I never ate, since I put John the Baptist's head on a plate." I was a man from the land of the living. You could imagine just how I was feeling. My knees were knocking and my mind was reeling, too frightened to scream. You could imagine just how I was shaking, to feel like a man of forsaken, hoping that he was just awakened from this dreadful dream. By the old rock city theater, I saw what looked like a Roman emperor. It was Julius Caesar coming down, daggers in his back, laurels on his brow. He said I had legions at my command, still I got stuck like a pin cushion. His wife said, man, you didn't have no sense to know you must never turn your back on your friends. I was a man from the land of the living, in that carnival and the ghosts not reveling. The whole while the rhythm compelling me to join the parade. I was a man from the land of the living, and I confess that my flesh was tingling to find myself now mingling in that masquerade. Shaka Zulu whining on Catherine the Great, Genghis Khan and Casanova arguing who was the greater conqueror. They were prancing all around when there was a commotion in the crowd. It was King Henry VIII running for his life, chased down the road by 6 angry wives. I was a man from the land of the living. You could imagine how it was upsetting to know there was no way of getting back to my native land. You could imagine just how I was grieving, to know there was no way now of living. So I had to abandon the plan and go jump in the dead man band.
Hola, mi nombre es Elizabeth Rodríguez de Okan, una banda de Toronto, y este es el Lovecast con Dave O Rama.
Alina bel ti moment, pour que raison a fait me souffrir. Alina bel ti pomme douce, papa relève papa méchou. Alina bel ti moment, pour que raison a fait me souffrir. Alina bel ti pomme douce, papa relève papa méchou. Besoin dodo m'bassa dodo, besoin m'appelle m'batata. Besoin manger m'bassa manger. Je suis ma belle pour ma dada. Besoin dodo m'bassa dodo. Je suis ma belle pour ma dada. Alina, 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 maman. Je suis ma belle pour ma dada. Alina, 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 maman. Je suis ma belle pour ma dada. Cuerpo